If you are in the market for a budget 9mm compact pistol, the FMK 9C1G2 may be an option. This one is manufactured in California, in Placentia, which is actually in Orange County, which is very close to me. It is the only gun manufacturer remaining in California, so that was one of the main reasons why I decided to pick one of these up. Also, the price point was actually something that was pretty awesome. It was $260. When I did purchase it on Turners.com, it didn't charge tax. So all in all, it was a little bit over $300 out the door with dross. So definitely a good option. Initially, when I did go in to the store to check it out, I was looking at the FDE combination. And unfortunately, right away when I was checking out this pistol, the gentleman that was working the counter was just saying that basically, you would have to upgrade the trigger right away, and that it only comes with one magazine, so that it was better to just, for a couple $100 more, you could get a Glock. And I agree, but unfortunately, there's going to be some people out there that, they're kind of struggling right now to put food on the table and pay rent. So they want an option to defend themselves, which isn't going to break the bank. So I opted to just kind of check it out. Went back to the drawing board, stayed home, and then eventually when I saw it for $260, I picked it up. So it does come with one magazine. These are proprietary to FMK, so they're not interchangeable with Glock. They do have a beveled mag well right here, which is the first thing I've ever seen, so it really makes it easy to take this out. But one thing I really wanted to share was how to basically enhance the gun to make it more reliable. There's a lot of videos on the internet and a lot of forums where they just bash the crap out of this gun. You either hate it or love it, but I tend to see that quite a bit with every single pistol. It doesn't matter who the manufacturer is. So the first thing that you're going to notice is this trigger pull. I mean, look at that. It is a long trigger pull. It is the double action only. So you could swap this out for what they have is a 804 fast action trigger, or the fat trigger, which is a lot shorter. But I wanted to be a minimalist and just kind of keep it where it's at and see if I could get it to work. I did upgrade the front sight, which I took off of a Glock that I upgraded those sights. So I just threw on this high vis right here on this one. So basically some of the things I wanted to go over. One thing I noticed with the magazine when I barely got it, it was hard to eject. So one thing that you're going to want to do is in here is take an X-Acto knife or a razor and go and basically clean this area up right here. Sometimes it may have a little bit of extra plastic, so you're going to want to go ahead and clean that up, and that should make this function a lot better. And then let's go ahead and disassemble the gun real quick. Another thing you'll notice right there, this recoil spring just always seems to drop out. So I don't know if that may be an issue with the performance that some people are encountering. So another thing we're going to want to do also that I've noticed is right here right above the trigger is sometimes there's a little bit of excess plastic. So again, you're going to want to take this and just kind of clean that up in this whole area right here. Clean that all up, and then also any excess that may be on these sides. The thing about these budget guns, not to say that they're not quality inspected, but they're produced to be a budget gun. So they're not probably going to have the cleanest finishing here, so sometimes you may have to go and clean that up. Another thing I did notice that right here in the inside, it's kind of hard to see, but where the spring is that is activated to release the mag, there was also, I took a little brush and was just kind of cleaning out there. I did notice a little good size of plastic that kind of popped out. So once that was removed and I cleaned this up, it did perform a lot better. But one of the main things that I noticed was that you definitely want to polish the feed ramp. So with that, I just went to Harbor Freight, got some cheap polishing compound for metal or stainless steel. And with a Dremel, basically went over this area right here. And I'm actually really thinking about doing the sides of it as well. As you can see, this is a black Cerakote on a stainless steel barrel. It looks kind of thick. And I've already put 1,000 rounds through it. So you could already see where the wear is happening. And right on top here. So I do think that if I do polish these sides, it may be a little bit smoother as well. So by doing that, it definitely will enhance it. Also, this ejector, I mean, it's pretty massive. Probably the biggest ejector I've seen on any pistol. Also in this area, you'll see right there, it's kind of hard to zoom in right there, but you'll see that the thickness of the Cerakote also is getting worn off right there. So for this action, and then you could also see the wear right there. So it's really important to see where the wear is on your barrel, your slide, etc., just so you can really see where you need to oil and lube that up. Another thing for California, there's an indicator, so anytime it is loaded, you'll see that right there where this is going to be able to pop out. One thing that attracted me though, again, 100% USA made, so I thought that was really neat. Definitely one of the selling points for myself. So when I did purchase this, the magazines are really hard to come by. I was on eBay, all over the internet. It seems like everybody's sold out. Eventually, I just went to the manufacturer, but I will tell you these are not cheap magazines, and they are proprietary, so they don't use Glock mags. So this right here, I want to say it goes about $42, which is pretty expensive. So that's going to go in right here. I did purchase one directly from them. This was the one I received. And then at Turner's, they got some more in stock, and these were $25 a pop. So these actually have FMK engraved on them right here. So I picked up 2 more. So I have a total of 4 magazines. So some of the downsides to it is that it definitely does have a break-in period. You're going to want to put in about a good 500 to 600 rounds. I know that sounds like quite a bit, but to be honest, a lot of these guns straight out of the manufacturer are going to need a break-in period. So I've put in 1,000 rounds so far, anywhere from the 115 grain to 124 grain. And initially, I was getting an issue where I was getting double feed. Not only with one magazine, but with every single magazine, I was getting double feed. And this was within the break-in period. I reached out and emailed FMK, and they did advise, to, give it some more rounds. And eventually it stopped doing that. I stopped having failures to feed. Out of the 1,000 rounds, I had 12 failures. So all in all, it's still over 98% probability that it's going to shoot, So definitely still a good investment, I think, for the price point. Not everybody could afford, the fancier guns and stuff. I wanted to buy this overall just to test it out. Also being that it's manufactured in Placentia, California, which is in Orange County. I just really definitely wanted to support this brand and basically, shows support on this. So it does have a lower barrel. It's snag-free design. Also a 3.87 inch length in the barrel right here. So it is really nice. The ergonomics on this is pretty neat. Also does have a rubber back strap here, which is supposed to help with the recoil. One thing that I really dig also is right here on the trigger guard. Usually on all my Glocks, I have to do a undercut with my Dremel. But the way this one is, the ergonomics are just really nice. Also, when you wrap around, it doesn't really interfere with the mag release. Another nice thing is that the slide stop right here is very long. So really nice to just be able to disengage and rack that up. So all in all, I really like it. I also got a couple of the rubber grip that I like to do and added that as well. Also put some on here. And then I also wanted to invest in a little flashlight. This is a budget flashlight I got on Amazon. I want to say it was about $20, 700 lumens. So I've already put about 250 rounds with the flashlight on, and it still works. And this brand is actually pretty decent. I also had one on my Glock 19. Eventually one of the screws kind of wore out, but I was able to put it on my 12 gauge shotgun, and so far it still holds up, and that one actually has a green laser. But this one for $20, you really can't go wrong. It does feel somewhat, I'm sure you don't want to bang this on some stone or a wall or anything. It probably will break. But overall, if it's just your truck gun or, your backup, something that you have laying around is definitely worth it. But all in all, FMK for My Country, I think it's a good buy. Over $300, not too bad. And the sights are interchangeable with Glock sights. And you can see right there, it looks pretty good. Also blacked out the back. That way I just focus right on the front. But I just wanted to share my point of view on this FMK 9C1G2. I know there's a lot of haters out there, and they're going to say that it's a piece of junk. Personally, I had a pretty good experience with it. Again, out of 1,000 rounds, I've only had 12 failures. So definitely worth it. I think it's good. If you see these magazines, pick them up because they are hard to come by. All in all, a good 9mm. I think it's a good option. So yeah, if you see one out there for cheap, I know in California they're $260. I think on the internet I've heard these go as low as maybe $200 or $180 in other parts of the country. So definitely pick one up. If you've had good experience or even bad experience, drop in the comments. Let me know. Thanks for watching.